Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Chill English. I am Quinn. Today, we will talk about a very important topic for people who learn English: how to practice speaking fluently without a partner. Many English learners often believe that if they want to speak well, they need a partner. They think it is better if the partner is a native speaker. Without a partner, they feel they can never be fluent. This idea sounds correct because language is for communication. When we learn a new language, we want someone to talk to. If we have no one to talk to, it feels strange. But the truth is different. This belief is not true. Do you know that many people have learned to speak fluently by practicing alone? They did not have a partner, but they still improved very fast. They used simple ways to practice every day, and step by step, they became more fluent. So how is this possible? In this lesson, we will learn the answer together. First, let's see why many learners think they must have a partner to speak well. One reason is that in many English classes, teachers often tell students to practice with a classmate. You sit in pairs, ask and answer questions, and you feel like speaking only happens with another person. Another reason is that speaking usually happens between two people. If there is no one in front of you, you feel like you are only talking to yourself, and this feels funny or strange. A third reason is that when we see people who are fluent in English, we often imagine they practiced every day with foreign friends. We think that they are fluent because they had a native partner, and we do not, so we cannot be fluent. Because of these ideas, many learners feel sad and lose motivation. They say, "I have no partner, so I will never be good." But this is not true. You can practice alone and still improve a lot. Maybe you joined an English class before. There are 15 to 20 students. The teacher gives a lesson, then asks you to practice in pairs. But each student only speaks for a few minutes, then must wait for others. As a result, you do not have much speaking practice. Or maybe you have one study partner. You talk together, but your partner does not correct your mistakes. You make the same mistakes again and again, and after some time, you feel stuck. Some learners try to talk online with strangers. This can help, but often it is not regular. You practice one time, then stop for many days. It is not enough to build fluency. All these ways have one problem: you do not practice enough, and you do not practice every day. But fluency only comes when you practice daily. So what is the solution? The solution is very simple. Practice speaking with yourself. It may sound strange, but it really works. When you practice alone, you can speak at any time. You can choose the topic you like. You can speak fast or slow, and it does not matter. You do not need to wait for anyone, and you do not depend on anyone. For example, when you wash dishes, you can say, "I am washing the dishes." The water is warm. When you put on your shoes, you can say, "I am putting on my shoes. I am ready to go." These are very simple sentences, but they help a lot. They make English part of your daily life. Now, let's talk more about how to practice English speaking alone in simple ways. Many people call this method self-talk. The name may sound special, but it is actually very easy. Self-talk means you turn your thoughts into words in English. You do not only think in your head, you say it out loud. For example, when you are cooking, instead of working in silence, you can describe what you do in English. You can say, I am cutting the vegetables. The pan is hot. I will add some oil. In this way, you are doing your job and also practicing English at the same time. English becomes part of your real life, and it feels more natural. Besides talking about actions, you can also tell stories about your day or your feelings. For example, after school or work, you can stand in front of a mirror and say, "Today was busy. I had many things to do. First, I finished my homework. Then, I helped my friend." Telling your day in English is a very good practice. It helps you speak more and also trains your mind to think in English. At the beginning, it may feel difficult, and sometimes you do not know the words. But do not worry. Just use the simple words you know. The important thing is not to be perfect, but to practice speaking with your mouth and brain every day. Step by step, it will feel easier. Another useful method is to practice giving quick answers to things you hear. For example, when you watch a video on YouTube or listen to the news, do not only listen quietly. Imagine the speaker asks you, "What do you think?" And then answer. You can say, "I agree," or "I don't think so." Even short answers like these help you train your brain to react in English. This is called practicing response. It makes you active, not just a passive listener. You can also try to play two roles by yourself. This means you act like two people in a conversation. It may sound funny, but it is very effective. For example, you can imagine you are in a restaurant. One role is the waiter, and one role is you. You can say, "Hello, what would you like to order?" Then you answer yourself, "I would like a chicken sandwich and a glass of water, please." By doing this, you practice real situations. It feels almost like a real conversation, but you do it alone. Today's technology also makes practice easier. You can use a recording app on your phone. Just record your voice when you speak. When you listen again, you may hear mistakes in your pronunciation or see that your sentences are not fluent. At first, you may not like it, but do not stop. After some week, compare your new recordings with the old ones, and you will hear progress. This is a good way to see how you are growing. Another great tool is artificial intelligence, like ChatGPT. You can open it anytime and practice a simple conversation. You do not need to wait for a class or a teacher. You can practice in the morning, in the evening, or even at night when you cannot sleep. You can try ordering food in a restaurant, asking for help in a shop, or booking a hotel room. This way, you can practice many situations and build confidence. The most important thing is not how many difficult words you use, but whether you practice every day. Even if you only practice for 15 minutes, it can make a big difference after some months. Think of English practice like brushing your teeth. You do it every day, not just once. If you keep this habit, you will see great results. You can also make your practice more fun by turning it into a small game. For example, you can set a goal every day. Speak at least 10 sentences in English about what you are doing. One day, you can talk about going to the market. The next day, you can talk about watching a movie. Another day, you can talk about your plan for the weekend. When you turn it into a small challenge like this, you will feel excited and want to continue. Small goals make learning less boring and more enjoyable. To become fluent, it is also important to review and repeat often. Many learners study a new word or grammar rule, but after a few days they forget it. Why? Because they do not use it again. So, a good way is to review at different times. You can study a word today, review it tomorrow, review again after 3 days, and then review again after 1 week. This is called reviewing step by step. If you do this, your brain remembers better. You keep the word for a long time instead of forgetting it quickly. This is very important for beginners. When you start, your vocabulary is small. If you forget many words, you will feel weak and lose confidence. If you keep your words, you will feel stronger. You should also create an English environment around you. Even if you do not live in an English-speaking country, you can change your phone language to English. You can write your to-do list in English. You can put small notes in English on your desk or fridge. And of course, you can talk to yourself in English during the day. For example, when you are cooking rice, you can say, "I am cooking rice." When you are getting ready for school or work, you can say, "I am getting ready." These small sentences are simple, but if you repeat them often, they become natural. Your brain will use English faster, like a habit. Another very important point, do not be afraid of mistakes. Many learners do not speak because they are worried about grammar mistakes or pronunciation problems. But remember, the first goal is not to be perfect. The first goal is to communicate. When children learn to speak, they make many mistakes. They do not use grammar correctly, but adults still understand them. You are the same. If you can express your meaning and people understand you, that is success. Later, when you are more confident, you can fix grammar and pronunciation step by step. Mistakes are not bad. Mistakes are your teacher. They show you where you need to improve. So, do not run away from mistakes. Use them to become better. Another helpful method is to learn phrases, not just single words. For example, if you learn the word book, you may not know how to use it in a sentence. But if you learn read a book or borrow a book, you can use it right away. Learning phrases helps you speak faster because you already have a piece of language ready. You do not need to think too much about building a sentence. Native speakers also use phrases all the time, not only single words. So, if you learn this way, you will sound more natural. It is also better to start with topics that are close to your daily life. Do not start with difficult or technical subjects. Start with easy ones, like introducing yourself, talking about your family, your hobbies, or your job. These topics are useful and you will use them often. When you practice them, you will feel successful and more confident. Later, when you are ready, you can move to bigger topics like travel, health, or technology. But first, stay close to your daily life. Another good strategy is to listen, repeat, and copy. This is how children learn their first language. They listen to adults, repeat what they hear, and slowly make it better. You can do the same. Listen to a short conversation, stop the video, and repeat the exact words. Pay attention to the sound, the stress, and the way people connect words. In the beginning, it feels hard, but if you continue, your English will sound more natural. Your voice will be more like the way native speakers talk. All these methods are simple, but they are very powerful. You do not need many books or a partner all the time. You only need daily practice, small goals, and the courage to make mistakes. Step by step, you will see a big change. Finally, remember that patience and a positive mind are very important. Learning a new language takes time. You cannot become fluent in only a few weeks or months. Sometimes you will feel tired. Sometimes you will think your progress is slow. But if you keep going every day, even a little, you will be surprised after 1 year. You will see how much better you are. The most important thing is not to stop. Every sentence you say in English brings you one step closer to fluency. It is also good to create real chances to communicate. If you only practice alone, sometimes you may feel bored. To solve this, you can join an English club, an online group, or make friends who also learn English. When you talk with them, you must react quickly and use what you know. At first, you may speak slowly or make mistakes, but it is okay. The more you do it, the more confident you become. When you listen to other learners, you also learn new words and expressions. Most importantly, you will see that you are not alone. Many people are walking the same path with you. Technology today can also help you a lot. There are many apps that let you practice listening, speaking, or pronunciation. Some apps even record your voice so you can compare with a native speaker. Artificial intelligence, like ChatGPT, can also be your partner. You can practice ordering food, booking a hotel, or just having a simple chat. It feels like talking with a real person. You can practice at any time, in the morning or at night. This makes learning easier, cheaper, and more flexible. The key is to use these tools often, not only download them and forget. Another fun way is to tell short stories in English. Instead of only saying single sentences, try to tell what happened in your day. For example, this morning, I woke up at 6, I brushed my teeth, ate breakfast, and went to school. Stories like this train you to organize your ideas and speak in order. When you tell small stories often, your mouth and brain become faster. Step by step, your speaking will be smoother. It is also good to set small goals for each month. In the first month, maybe your goal is to introduce yourself and talk about your family for 2 minutes. In the second month, your goal can be to talk about your hobby for 3 minutes. Small goals are easier. They give you motivation when you achieve them. Later, all the small skills will join together, and you will be ready for longer conversations. Do not forget to take care of your body and your feelings. If you are relaxed and happy, you learn faster. If you are tired and stressed, learning is very hard. So take enough rest, move your body a little, and do not push yourself too much. Learning English is not a short race. It is a long journey. You should also reward yourself for progress. When you can introduce yourself fluently for the first time, eat your favorite food as a gift. When you speak for 5 minutes without stopping, give yourself a break or a fun activity. Small rewards will make you want to continue. Thank you for staying until the end with Chill English. I am Quinn, and I hope this lesson gives you more joy and confidence on your English journey. Remember, you do not need to sound like a native speaker today. Just keep practicing with patience. Enjoy every small step. Day by day, you will get closer to natural and confident speaking. Language is a bridge that connects people and opens new chances. I believe if you keep your patience and your passion, you will succeed. See you in the next episode of Chill English.